3D spaces inside of Microsoft Teams meetings. Now, I think this is a fantastic feature, but it is like Marmite. You either love it or you hate it. 3D spaces, or otherwise known as mesh inside of Teams meetings, is essentially the kind of avatar virtual reality space where you can go, and it's almost a bit like a sort of online gaming sort of experience, but for your Teams meetings. So let's dive in and take a look. Now, inside of a Teams meeting, to enable this, you just need to click on the View button across the top and then select Immersive Space 3D. Now, this might take a couple of minutes to actually get you into the meeting. So it's something that I often recommend, that get to your meeting early and make sure you enable this before, like 5 minutes before the meeting is supposed to start, because not only will it take you a little bit of time just to load into the meeting, it's also going to take you a little bit of time to find your feet, move around, especially if you've never used it before, and almost get to the space inside of the meeting. Now, when you're loading into this, it really does feel like it's a kind of online game that you're loading into. It even has the like kind of loading screens and little tips for going immersive and things like that, and showing you what you can do inside of one of these virtual 3D immersive spaces inside of a Microsoft Teams meeting. So as it's loading, as I say, it's showing you things like you can actually play games. You can do things like ring toss. You can do things like chatting around a campfire and roasting marshmallows. You can even present in virtual space, so you can get kind of dashboards up and things like that to present. But this is what it looks like. So this is essentially my immersive space. Because I'm recording my screen, it is just a little bit glitchy, but I can assure you when you use it yourself, it's not actually this kind of jumping around and a bit glitchy. It's only because I'm recording my screen. But you can see that actually there's a couple of different areas of the meeting. We have, this is the kind of the presentational area. And you can see if I was hosting a meeting, maybe I was to stand at the front over here, and I could actually share my screen or presentation, and other people can see that. You can also see the seats around the room, and you can always click on those to choose to sit down if you wanted to. And now, obviously, I would be watching whoever was presenting during that meeting. Also, inside of the meeting, we can do things like reaction. So if we like something or we wanted to show appreciation, we can use things like clapping or likes or things like that during the kind of demonstration, the presentations, to engage with that meeting even further. Now, there's also things like avatar reactions. So you can choose to use things like Chef's Kiss or things like if you're thinking about something. It's just, again, a ways to actually almost bring your avatar to life. We can choose to walk around using the keypads, just the directional arrows and things like that. And there's a few things that we can interact with in these spaces. So as I said before, we've got things like a fireplace down here, which is great for kind of breakout sessions and things like that. We can roast marshmallows and that sort of thing. There's also little games as well. So there's things like this beanbag toss. You can pick up a beanbag and then try and throw it. As you can see, I am absolutely terrible at this. So let's have one more go. Come on. Oh, that was so close. One more time. Oh, that was absolutely terrible. I'm really finding the urge to throw. I'm going to throw one more. I really want to try and get it in. Oh, so close. Anyway, so this is a fantastic place that you can obviously have team building, bonding, and things like that to try and get this in. I've just realised actually this one's even harder. The hole's actually moving on this one. That feels like that's making things even more challenging. Further down here as well, we have these kind of sort of glowing orb things, which actually when you click on them, they make different noises. So again, as a team, you can choose to try and make a little jingle, a little tune by clicking on these together. Now, this is just the default. It's quite good for kind of small, medium-sized get-togethers and things like that. It's quite an informal kind of setting as well. As you can see, it almost looks like it's a bit of a retreat or something like that. But we also have kind of some options down here. So we can choose, for example, seating options. So we can choose to actually jump to different spaces in the kind of presentational area, even from outside. We can also choose environment settings. So this is just the default, which is the lake house. But actually there's loads of other kind of options here, depending on the size of the meeting that we are hosting. So for example, we've got things like workshop, which has got breakout rooms for creative collaboration, Oasis Large for a much larger kind of meeting space, or Oasis Small for much smaller spaces. Now I'm actually just going to jump into this workshop area because I think this is fantastic. It would be a great way of actually hosting kind of like a virtual conference or something like that, where actually we can have maybe a main presentation, like a keynote area or something like that. But there's also breakout rooms as well, which is included in the space. So you could almost have your keynote in the main area, and then after that you could say, okay, we've got room, I think they're numbered like 1, 2, 3, 4. So you could say for breakout session 1, go to room 1, for breakout session 2, go to room 2, and so forth, and people can go into there. And there's actually dedicated desks in each of those different meeting rooms as well. So as you can see here, this is the kind of the core kind of meeting space that we've got, but also we've got areas like we've got room number 1, number 2, number 3. And if I just walk over there, you can see they are dedicated meeting spaces with their own kind of tables and chairs and things like that. So you can have your breakout sessions within these spaces as well. I should also mention, you can also choose to change your avatar. So obviously I've tried to make mine look as close to me as possible with a beard and things like that. You can choose to totally customize your avatar though. You can change what they're wearing, the color of their hair, the color of their skin, and everything. You will notice though that nobody has legs. There's nothing from the waist down. So literally it's just the torso, clothing, color of the hair, beard, facial hair, things like that that you can choose to change. But obviously you can go into here and it's quite detailed, the different sort of configuration options that you've got for changing your avatar. So you can really personalize it to make it look and feel exactly how you want to represent yourself inside of this Microsoft Teams meeting. So obviously this is fantastic for a really large kind of space. But again, we can choose to go to a much smaller area as well if we wanted to. So I'm just going to change the environment to actually jump into the small Oasis environment, so you can kind of see what it would look like if we only wanted to have a much smaller meeting space. Again, this area feels a little bit more formal than the original kind of default template, which is the lake house. The lake house is really good, to be fair, for social kind of events, get-togethers, parties, almost in that kind of way. But it has a more relaxed feel, where some of these other templates have more of a kind of meeting kind of feel to them. So you can see here, this feels more like a boardroom. We've got, if I'm right, 8 different seats around here. We can choose, actually, once we're in this space, to go into the seating settings and choose what we would like. So whether we would actually do want a kind of horseshoe table, or do we want more of a semicircle table? And actually we can change that table. So maybe, for example, we're going to be seated, but actually there's going to be someone at the front that's going to be presenting something. So we want it to have more of an arch shape. But you can change this as you like. So as I say, we could have maybe more of a round table. So if there's something where you want to make sure you can definitely see everybody that's around the table, it feels a little less formal at this point. But again, every meeting is slightly different, and the way it feels is going to be slightly different. So you can change and customize this depending on that. Or you could just choose to have an empty space. Now, I must admit, I don't necessarily recommend this, because you then end up in a kind of situation where you could have people not exactly overlapping, but not really stood in a space that if you are actually having a meeting, then essentially you might not be focused on the right person who's talking at that point in time. Whereas actually it's quite good to remove the kind of seats and the spaces and things like that. If it's more of a kind of, imagine it's almost like a networking event or something like that, where you don't want people to sit down, you want them to kind of mingle and things like that, then actually removing the seats is a fantastic way to achieve this. So as you can see, there's loads of different options for configuring this 3D space dependent on what you want to achieve and the type of meeting that you're looking to host.